All right, welcome back. Welcome back. For Are You Not Entertained podcast, we're getting straight into it with some breaking news. Netflix has called it a quits. They are backing out of the bid. Netflix was circling Warner Brothers, and then suddenly they just backed out. Not because of scandal, and not because of creative differences, but because after the latest Paramount shenanigan, the numbers stop making sense. And that's huge. When the biggest streamer in the world walks away after a rival raises the prices, that tells you this wasn't about content. Ooh, no, no, no. This was about leverage. And someone has just changed the board. Are you not entertained? Woo! So, what makes it interesting? Paramount's latest offer reportedly shifted the financial landscape around Warner Brothers, and Netflix decided the deal no longer justified the cost. The juice, no, was not worth the squeeze anymore, baby. That's discipline, but it's also revealing because Paramount is willing to go higher and higher, and Netflix isn't. One of them sees future value, and the other doesn't. So now the real question is Netflix protecting margins, or is Paramount about to overpay in a streaming arms race that's already bleeding money?
Yeah, so Netflix saying that the deal no longer made financial sense or was financially attractive is a very much big deal. Netflix publicly stated the price required to match Paramount's bid made the deal no longer financially sensible. And so they chose not to raise their offer. That's a big narrative moment, especially because Netflix is one of the most valued, is a big value company when it comes to cash on hand, their stock tradings and stuff like that. So it's like Netflix didn't have the money to match. They just said, "Nah, bro, we good. We out." I want to also point out that the shareholder stock market reaction to Netflix backing out of this deal, Netflix stocks jumped reportedly around 10% as investors cheered the decision not to take on additional financial risk that is Warner Brothers. Because if you don't know, Warner Brothers is already in huge amount of debt, and is the reason why they're even trying to be bought out, because they have such an amount of debt they cannot get financial or bank loans uh to sponsor projects and things like that, and that's with HBO and all that. But the fact that the financial viewpoint said that Netflix made the right decision backing out the deal to not match Paramount's latest offer, that's hey, listen. Sometimes when a mofo just want to hear they right, hey, Netflix right now is proven to be right in their decision, just from the financial outlook from investors and things like that. No, Paramount emerged as that one guy that hits on that girl and won't stop hitting on a girl after she tells him no several times. But listen, persistency paid off, I guess, in Paramount's efforts. Listen, she finally said yes, went on a date and found out she actually likes the dude. And they're now dating. And we'll see if this deal goes through for Paramount. The United States president was publicly saying that he was not going to let the Netflix deal go through. There was some reports that Netflix had met him behind the scenes, and maybe they didn't want to deal with his bullshit, and was just like, you know what, it's not even worth it no more. At the price, we're not about to deal with him publicly and you privately. I really didn't even understand why Paramount was even getting like looked at, because we had a deal. We won the bid. You accepted our fucking offer. Why are you even entertaining? And I hope that Netflix has some type of clause that says that if Warner Brothers backed out the deal, that they get some type of financial benefit. Like, how they do earnest monies when you buying houses? Like, hey, you walk away, I keep that earnest money because you reneged on the deal. I hope there's something to that effect, because I just think this is bullshit. Like, I told you, I feel like Paramount was that motherfucker on eBay who's driving up the price knowing they're not going to win the bid, but making the winner spend the most money. But I think in this point, it actually backfired, because listen, Paramount is reportedly going to spend $110 billion on this deal, and that's including taking on the debt and everything. And that's just crazy number for Warner Brothers. And it's so crazy because at one point they tried to sell themselves for, and I think Paramount, was it Paramount? I don't know, somebody gave them some low offer. I think it was a few billion, and now they're getting bought for 110 billion. I don't know. But listen, everybody is saying that Netflix avoided overpaying for a massive legacy studio. They maintained financial discipline and avoided expensive acquisition debt. The debt that they was gonna take on was very, very large. Not saying they couldn't do it, but it's kind of like, well, Warner Brothers got in this debacle of being in so much debt because they bought Discovery, who I don't know how, but had all this debt associated with them and some other things. So it's kind of like, are we gonna be the victims for the second time? Like, fool me once. Hey, Warner Brothers got fooled. We ain't getting fooled again. Like, nah, not on our watch. Potentially kept their focus on content production, technology, and gaming expansion instead of a risky mega merger. Now, listen, will they end up ultimately regretting backing out? I don't think so. I think Netflix has a very, very good, solid business plan. I've stated in previous videos that whoever is the business architect, whoever is like lining up the things that they're getting involved with and backing, putting money behind, that motherfucker is handling business, and he probably needs a raise, and he might get a raise after telling them, "Hey, this Paramount deal and Warner Brothers, we're not even gonna deal with this foolishness." So, only time can tell if Netflix end up regretting, but I believe they're not because they just have their own thing going. They're kind of the king of streaming. They're the only ones really maintaining a profit margins. Where we reported streaming services right now are struggling because people are not gonna have 5 or 6 fucking streaming service. Like, no. Like, there's no way you're way over fucking cable at that point. Like, it doesn't make sense. So only the strong is gonna survive. And let me just tell you, Netflix stood a test of time that has been tested through different phases of streaming service. Like, for one, they was one of the pioneers. And back when they was delivering DVDs. So like they've seen the dip, they've seen the lowest of lows and the highest of highs. So they are battle tested to where other streaming service like Disney Plus, this Warner Brothers, HBO, and all this other Peacock and all of them other motherfuckers that's just came to the marketplace in recent years, they're not battle tested. Netflix has stomached people pulling content off their streaming service, them having to readjust their fucking business models, and now people are trying to come back to their app. That's just a testament on how many good decisions and their game plan and how they want to go about being a successful streaming service. Now, Paramount. The owner is what is his name? Ellison. He just recently bought something else, but he is the founder of Oracle. So I'm not saying, hey, his pockets are deep. I ain't gonna front. His pockets are deep. He's up there with making Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, type money. So hey, if anybody can, pay the debt off and make it look like a write off, is him. But ultimately, is this going to be a good business move for Paramount? Listen, the Paramount app is trash. I don't care what anybody says. I was trying to watch The Lioness the other day on it, and the bitch just keep crashing for no fucking reason. It's so fucking irritating. I hope, and which I probably won't, because they probably won't invest money into the app now because they have all this debt to fucking clear up or do something with. But I just hope they can spend some money improving the fucking quality of the streaming app because it's really trash. And you stacking content on top of content ain't gonna make the app better. It's probably gonna stress it out more. So, we'll have to wait and see. But I think if somebody can just stomach the debt that is Warner Brothers right now, I mean, not saying Netflix couldn't, but it just didn't make business sense. And I applaud Netflix for walking away from a deal because a lot of people are probably now looking at them sideways and all that. But Paramount very, very much did move very nasty in this whole thing, and the way they went about it, they went about it by some backhanded deals and some. Listen, the way they did it was very nasty. Ultimately, it's gonna cost them, but I think a lot of people, business wise, in the streaming service, in the space, is looking at Paramount as like some snakes in the water because how they moved on this deal was very nasty, very shady. And I mean, some people, I mean, I don't know. I guess whatever fence you fall on, some people's like, oh, Netflix don't need to win because they have agenda, and some people's like, oh, Paramount, the Skydance people, they make good content, so it'll listen. I don't really know. I don't really care at that point. You can go either way on any given day. The companies can turn out to be good for this content they're gaining, or it could be, anything's possible. But hey, I applaud Netflix. They stuck to their buy box. They was very meticulous. They gave them a very good fucking offer at the end of the day. And the way that this deal went about with Paramount is very nasty. And I think a lot of people are going to shun them on future deals. And hey, Netflix is probably still looking around for things they can acquire, things they can buy. So just because they walked away from this deal doesn't mean they're not still in the buying content or buying content whole IP. I think they're very much, and they got the money to do it. But shout out to them. They're staying in their buy box. They're staying 10 toes down. They're standing on business, and to be able to walk away from a very publicized deal like this is very much a testament Netflix's balls, because it takes a lot of balls to just walk away and really be looked at like you lost. But hey, like I said, their stocks jumped up, so everybody in the finance world thinks they made the right decision. So I mean, hey, only time could tell.
I'm confused over this whole situation because Netflix was there. They
Mhm.
already took Netflix's offer. What is
Yes.
so different in this Paramount offer that's not different from the last couple offers that you all rejected? Like, if you were going to entertain this, why didn't you do this the first, the second, the third, whatever amount of times
Yeah.
Paramount has come back? I'm confused because once you accept the bid and move forward, how are you backing out? I'm very confused.
Yeah. That's not
Because
good
I think I
business.
read somewhere. I think I read somewhere that the report was saying like, "Oh, Paramount, 110 billion. That's just 2 more billion from the 108 they came with last time." So what are we doing? What are we doing? And who is approving this? Because from what I can remember, how we reported on this, how I've read it, the videos that I've watched on this. The reason Warner Brothers was denying fucking Paramount is because they don't got the money all up front. They are piecemealing this, and their offer is unstable. That was the words that Warner Brothers used themselves. Unstable. Going with Netflix was the best way because this is all cash on hand. This is a surefire thing. What the fuck has happened? Who got some messed up photos of somebody's mama in her nightgown or something?
Mhm.
What we doing? Because if this is really the play at hand because of a certain person having certain knowing or rights, whatever, to our U.S. president, hey, that's crazy, and it sounds illegal.
Mhm.
I ain't never heard no shit like this. That you took a offer, took a bit like just you saying, like with the house thing. You accept the offer, you in contract. I'm like, I kind of want to hear what Jake is talking about. No, bro, what you doing? So this is just crazy. But I'll say this: Netflix right now is the king of
Yeah.
streaming. You can argue that however you want, but anyone, majority, almost everybody has a Netflix account. Majority, almost everybody. You may have one or two others, but your main is Netflix. And anyone who has a Netflix account, I can assure you, you have noticed and seen the amount of content
What they read
that
in.
is going and influxing into Netflix. A lot of it being from other streaming services or other license rights holders. That's not a weird thing to see. You know why? Because all these other companies are realizing, like, damn, this shit is hard. Yes, it is. This shit is
Mhm.
expensive. Yes, it is. Not only to
Mhm.
maintain your own license rights, but to keep those subscribers subscribed, you need to keep a compelling reason for them to stay. All the years of Netflix in the red, they have held on. They know what it takes to run this shit. Not only do they have other properties to entertain their subscribers, they have a plethora, a library full of their own air quotations original content. Like you see shit from MGM, you see shit from what's another one of them companies? I can't remember. I think it was a Stars, Showtime. Everybody's shit is wound up on them. You know why? Because it's easier to take Netflix money and let them have the license to that shit than you to spend the millions it takes to try to make a show and it flops. every company can't take that hit because I know good and damn well Netflix is quick to cancel a show if the viewing numbers ain't right. That Jupiter show some years ago that everybody was like, oh my God, they canceled it after one season. Yeah, you know why? Y'all didn't show up and watch it. I think they had like nearly 200 million in just that one season. Almost 200 million. They was like, hey man, y'all didn't show up for this. Hey, cut this. They invested where the audience is, and in return, they get the money. This is chess, not checkers. And everyone is learning the hard way. And they have learned the hard way. This streaming game, it's a marathon. It ain't a sprint. And as I said, Netflix is the king. Period. Because while everybody else was so quick, like my cousin stated, to take content off, oh, we're gonna make our own stream service. I can't remember who. I think it's Peacock. They built their streaming platform based off the fact that they are the license rights holders to The Office. Do you really believe that many people are gonna subscribe to a whole new streaming service for The Office? When The Office was on Netflix for years, they were like, no, 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 we can do that. No, you can't. You cannot. You're not that guy. But as I said, I'm just baffled because I didn't know this is how this shit works. And if Paramount is so damn thirsty and so gung ho to keep the new kid off the block from having such a prestigious and well world renowned studio, all right, give it to him and watch it fall apart because Warner Brothers is in huge debt. We talking colossal double digit high billions of debt that they can't even manage. So how are you gonna manage it when this ain't what the fuck y'all do? The Paramount app, as my boy, that app is horrendous. It
Trash.
hurts me to get on that app sometimes because you click the left button, it may be 10 seconds before it moves. And then another 10 for the fucking thing to load.
And that bitch
You would
will
have went through a
crash.
whole Simpsons episode just trying to get to the content you want and for it to fucking load. But you all are out here trying to buy up a studio? Yeah,
110
okay.
billion. Your app is
I love to see
trash.
where and how this plays out. And Netflix is gonna be laughing their ass off because let's just say this shit don't work out. And then Paramount needs to offload this to try to get some of their money back. Netflix could easily step in and get it for even more motherfucking cheaper. And then that's crazy that not only did they walk away from the fucking deal and their stock price went up. Niggas are like, oh God, thank you. Ooh, we ain't gotta deal with the bullshit of taking this responsibility on. Because not only did you have to worry about the debt of Warner Brothers, you got to worry about all the bullshit they got going on at them studios, the properties, everything. Netflix shareholders like, hey man, why we don't want to deal with all that, bro. let them crazies deal with that. That's what they want. Let us keep doing what we do best, making money. So kudos to you, Netflix. Stay frosty, and we'll follow you all up with how this thing changes and develops.
But yeah, definitely let us know. Do you think this was good for Netflix and them standing on business, or do you think they made a mistake with walking away from the deal and not at least matching the offer that Paramount gave the Warner Brothers? But I just don't understand how we have a deal in place. We announced it jointly, and you up here. It's like I take you on a date, but yet you up here looking at other dudes while I'm spending my money on you on this date. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what? Excuse me? Like, you were nah. So I don't know what kind of arrangement they had. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was a soft agreement, which I don't even know how businesses. I don't even think they would do a soft agreement. So I don't even know how Warner Brothers was allowed to entertain Paramount, especially when they did that shit when they went straight to the shareholders. It should have been, all right, you didn't win, it's over. Like, stop coming back. Like, I guess I don't understand how they came back repeatedly. Bruh, it's over. I won. Where were you in the betting process? Like, so I maybe we'll get a Netflix documentary about this in a couple of years and it can answer a lot of these
Oh my
burning
God, I look forward to
questions.
that.
Yo, Netflix documentaries lately have been A1, I'm not gonna
They be
lie.
hitting.
Yo,
Yes,
so
they do. I look forward to that. It'll probably be up in a few weeks.
yeah, nah, I ain't gonna have it. They probably got some non-disclosure agreements that has to expire before they can do it. But I really do hope Netflix do a documentary and show us why that shit was it just pencil out like it didn't make sense in that this Ellison family has spent Will this be how I feel about Xbox buying Bethesda, that they bought at the top of market and they bought a house that was on fire without realizing? Only time can tell. But let us know in the comments down below what you think, how you feel. Do you agree that Netflix made a good decision? Do you think Paramount made a horrible financial decision? But, let us know in the comments down below.
And that's it for this video of Are You Not Entertained podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell so you'll never miss our next hot take. Until next time, are you not entertained?